As far as Takeover is concerned, they have a good card, not too filled up with matches like SummerSlam of its 11, but instead a very modest 6. But those 6 are matches that, most of them are matches that, 1, we've never seen before, or 2, are going to be absolutely amazing. So let's get into those matches right now. New woman alert. There is a new woman on the horizon for NXT. Her name is Ember Moon. She's making her debut at NXT Takeover Brooklyn, and she's going to go against Billie Kay, a seasoned veteran of NXT's women division. And obviously, it's her debut, so she has to get the victory here. I'm kind of going with the easy one first off. So I see Ember Moon getting this victory in her debut. Another person debuting, at least in the ring, is Bobby Roode, and he's going against Andrade Cien Almas. And Almas has been undefeated since he's been in NXT. And I guess since Roode hasn't had a match, he's undefeated as well. So Battle of the Titans here. But I see Bobby Roode coming out with this victory. This is his debut match. Like I said, you don't really see people lose their debut matches unless they're jobbers. And Bobby Roode is far, far, far from a jobber. So I see him getting the victory there. Those were pretty easy to pick. Now to the slightly more difficult decisions. We have a match between No Way Jose against Austin Aries. Little rivalry that they've had for the last couple weeks. Kind of went dead for a little bit. They didn't really, talk about it much, but their match ends up on this pay-per-view, and I see Austin Aries getting the victory here. More or less because, I feel like No Way Jose is not going to lose that much momentum from losing this match. He's undefeated for the most part. Austin Aries is undefeated as well, I believe. So one of these guys is going to lose a match, and I think it's going to be No Way Jose somehow, some way. He's going to lose. For the most part, I think I have a lot of baby faces winning, so this is why I'm picking Austin Aries to win this match. Next match is for the NXT Tag Team Championships. The Revival against Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. And I have Gargano and Ciampa taking the victory here. The Revival have had the titles for a very long time. They had a great 3 matches with American Alpha, like I said in previous podcasts. Previous Perfect podcasts they've done. They've proven that they're great wrestlers. I don't think they have much to prove. I don't know if they're going to get called up or anything like that, but I think that Gargano and Ciampa have the feel-good victory here, get a win, and ignite the crowd with a great victory in Brooklyn. And it makes sense. Another reason why I picked this is because if they don't feud with the Revival again, even if they didn't, they still do have a great heel tag team with those 2 big guys in the vests with I don't remember their names right now, but those 2 guys are monsters, and they'll definitely be feuding for this title if Gargano and Ciampa get the victory here. So I'm looking forward to seeing that if that's the direction they decide to go into. Oh, for any of you that were wondering, their name is actually the Authors of Pain. Just got to me in my head. So yeah, managed by Paul Ellering, obviously the former manager of the LOD, or the Road Warriors as they were called back in the day. So I see Gargano and Ciampa getting that victory, possibly feuding with those guys down the line. Now, the NXT Women's Championship match. This one is probably the hardest one to decide a victor, but I see Asuka coming out with the victory here. Potentially a heel turn as well. I don't really think that she's going to get another clean victory on Bayley. But I don't see Bayley having another great moment of winning her title, because they should save that for the main roster, She already had her moment in NXT, and for her to have that moment again in the same place, on the same show, is a little bit redundant. And then for them to try to do it whenever she comes up to the main roster, whether it's WrestleMania or whatever, I think it'll all be too soon. So I don't see her getting the victory here. I see Asuka winning and Bayley remaining the underdog, which is a great role that she's in. And it'll be great. It'll be believable, even though earlier this year, she was almost untouchable. But like I said, booking can change everything. So you can be untouchable one day, and the next day you're the Brooklyn Brawler. Not to say that Bayley will be the Brooklyn Brawler after this match, but obviously, I think Asuka just comes out with the victory here, and it makes the most sense to me. So that's what I'm going with. And last but not least, probably the best, the NXT Championship match. Samoa Joe against Shinsuke Nakamura, a match that I'm looking forward to like crazy. I see Nakamura getting the victory. Samoa Joe, I didn't see him as a transitional champion, but I guess that's the case because they had him feud with Nakamura so early. I thought they were going to save this match for somewhere down the line, but I guess not. And Nakamura has to get the victory here. He doesn't have to, but it makes the most sense to have him have it. And Samoa Joe will either feud with him again or make his main roster debut at some point. Like I said, you know, the main rosters, they're losing people left and right, so it wouldn't be a surprise to me to see people getting called up from NXT still, even after this whole draft thing happened. So I think Samoa Joe, that's his fate, more or less sometime soon, as well as Bayley, and well-deserved, obviously. So that's fine. It'll be great to see Nakamura as champion. I mean, who would have thought, you know, that two people from Japan would be the two main champions on NXT, Nakamura and Asuka. Just goes to show, you know, the diversity that WWE has been you know, embracing over the past couple of years, and Triple H obviously has a big catalyst for that. This is his show, and you know, he's the one making the decisions. So kudos to Triple H, man. You know, diversity is a great thing, and you know, if you're the best, you're the best, regardless of where you're from, and it's great to see that. You know, it makes anything possible when you see things like that, and it's amazing. So kudos to NXT. It'll be a great show. Will they outshine WWE, the main rosters again? I don't know. A lot of NXT guys are on the main roster now, and they have a big resurgence. So I don't know if they're going to outshine them this time, but we'll see. I don't know.